Hello, hello. Oh, this green is like a weird color. Okay. It is what it is. I'm using a webcam that I got for the Mac. Bear with my lashes, y'all. Y'all know what I've been going through. Oh, your girl is parched. Okay. So as you know, yesterday I did go live with the knitting machine. So the first thing I want to address is that in my rush to eat, because I was starving yesterday, I forgot to add oil to the gold rim inside. I did add it and it's working fine now. She is still very loud, but that's just because of the Adlier. So let me go ahead and show you guys how that's working. It's still catching a little where the teeth are broken, but it's not stopping like it was before. So thankfully, we're doing a lot better, right? But I do want to go ahead and I finished all the tubes that I needed for the order. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this now with you guys. Honestly, that's not that bad considering the equipment is the machine is around 300 depending on when you get it, maybe 250 if you can catch it on sale. So $26 for a part is really not that bad. Honestly, I was thinking it might be like 50 or 100 cuz I'm like that's a good quarter of the machine, right? It is still catching, but I think I'm okay for now. Hopefully if by the end of the season it's still acting up, I'll go ahead and get it so that, because now I'm going to start cranking them out. Like, I'm just not really starting on headbands. This time last year, I had well over 50 headbands. Excuse me, it's very cold. I'm going to try. I know there's one market for sure in 2 weeks that I want to apply for, and I should be able to get in because it's a vendor I've worked with in the past. So I'm hoping that I'm going to do that market. And then today, once I get off live, I am meeting the client to drop these off with them in person because thankfully it was a local order. And once I do that, I think I'm probably going to go to like a coffee shop or something and just really get to work. I really need to just look at local markets. Thankfully, I am in a group where I'm able to like sorry, my brain is not working, y'all. I'm in like a group chat on Instagram with other local vendors, and I am able to see where, or like we put markets on there, right? So like if you see a market that's available, we put it up there, and everything is like categorized, free, between 0 to 50, 50 to 100, and 100 plus, right? So it's easier to kind of associate like what markets you can and can't do. Let me see if I can make the chat bigger because I can't see what I'm doing. Let me know how audio is, Michelle. I'm trying out the webcam. I don't particularly care for the visuals. I don't know if this is how the regular. I know it's clear, but I feel like I look very pale. I'm trying to see if I can maybe make this bigger. I probably won't be able to, honestly. Sounds good. Yeah, especially if you think about it too, with all these attachments that we have, like the Adlier or even the drill adapter, right? We shouldn't be able to go as fast as we do with these machines. So the fact that only a few teeth are broken, I'm okay with that. Like, I know it's something that I did to the machine to cause that, but to know that the replacement pieces aren't that expensive, I'm happy. The Adlier alone is $60. And it is an enhancement to help my hands, but at the end of the day, the machine itself needs to work. Okay, it might be lighting too. I might have to like play around with it or something. I literally just installed it. So I'm a mess, y'all. I'm a mess. Michelle, you know why, or for anyone else is looking, I mean, you guys know why I don't particularly care to get into it again, but like mentally, I'm going through it, right? So I went to go deliver a transfer order that I worked on last night. Of course, the printer was acting up and misbehaving, and nothing is going to go my way, right? So I went to go deliver that this morning, locked myself out of my room. Thankfully, it's like a basic lock, so I was able to get back into my room to get my car keys and room key. So I did that, and then I ran to go meet with the client because I had already told her, like literally, I was using the bathroom to leave the house. And like when I texted her that I was on my way. So I was leaving my room, and I assumed that my keys were downstairs, knowing that I had just seen them upstairs like maybe the night before. And then obviously I locked myself out. So I'm like, I start looking for my car keys to go. And then I realized I locked myself out of the room. Again, thankfully I was able to like MacGyver myself in. But I'm so flustered. I was only like a few minutes behind, and I had to let her know I'd locked myself out. And I wasn't able to get my car keys, but I was able to get back in, yada yada. But I tell you, like, I'm really going through it, y'all. I get there, I'm parking the car, and instead of putting the car in park, I put it in drive. Thankfully, I was switching it from reverse to park, and I put it in drive. Like, yeah, I'm not allowed in society right now. Like, this cannot be a thing. Like, I'm the smallest of things overwhelm me, overstimulate me. It genuinely is too much. Starting 2 black, 1 gray, and then these 3 green. I do have extras. I have this gray and this black. I'm not going to do them here on the live just now because I don't have time, right? I'm just going to get the 3 going so that I can go ahead and finish. This is a pile of finish that I have that still need to be tagged. And then I have a pile that are completely done. So we're finishing up the ones that I needed to make to complete the order, so that hopefully I think I'm meeting up with her at 2. So it'll just be a quick drop off. And then ideally I would like to go sit somewhere outside of my house and just work, but it has to be somewhere extremely comfortable because my back is shot from all the traveling. So I'm gonna pack up my laptop and my laptop. Did I say my laptop and my laptop? I'm gonna pack up my laptop and my iPad so that I can look up things on the laptop and then write everything on my digital planner in the iPad. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I woke up today. I stripped the bed, doing laundry now. And then ideally, when I get back from doing the work I need to do for the business in regards to applying to markets and things like that, then I will come back and just focus on cleaning. I want to thoroughly clean my room and the house. But I know my room is my main priority right now just because my craft space in the room has not been organized. And unless I make time for it, there won't be time for it. So that's today's priorities in that list, just because that's just how it has to get done. Hey, love. Yeah, I saw a YouTube video. It was so weird. So I had to install this webcam, and I was freaking out because obviously time is limited. But if you open up FaceTime, under video, you can switch the camera. And then that was it. Literally, and then if the webcam comes with like a mic, then you have to go into sound settings. But there's no like visual setting, I guess. So you just have to open something that used it. Because yesterday when I was trying to do it, I was in StreamYard. So it wasn't like a computer setting. It was more like a setting for the internet type thing. So I was able to do it. Thank you.
Of course.
Have a good day, y'all.
You too.
But yeah. Flustered. Can you tell, Michelle? Yeah, girl, it's crazy. Cray. Yeah, I'm super, like, just super stimulated, overwhelmed, like the smallest of things. It's crazy, but doing this actually helps. Knowing things are getting done help. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Slowly but surely, things will get better. I'll be able to. I feel like once I get my space in order, I'm gonna feel so much better. So just little by little, y'all, we're gonna get things done. Hey, Nairo. I'm finishing up the order finally. I'm closing up, I'm crocheting up the last few that I made last night once I got the machine working again. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the tags to them. I thought I had some on hand, but I guess I did not. So before going out of the country, I had placed an order like after the live that I did that I think last Sunday. I went and I did a rush order for like another 300. And ironically, I didn't need it to be rushed, but it's better that way because at least when I got back, I knew they were waiting for me. So I have all my tags, and this is what they look like individually. Oh, it's inverted. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. Focus. Okay, well, these are my tags. And this is what they look like on the product. So I did want to go ahead and get them situated. But they did come in, thankfully, like I said, while I was away. So now it's just a matter of closing up these last 3, stitching up the 6th, and then tagging the pile that I have here. And I'll show you how I do all of that. I'm on the couch in the living room. I just have the Mac propped up on the computer. Of course, my phone is not charged. Have I plugged it into charge? Yes, I did. I was like, no, I have not. I did, thankfully. So that's one less thing I need to worry about. But yeah, this is going to be a quick live, y'all. I just want to go ahead and get this done. I am expected to meet the client at 2, like I said. So we're just going to power through and get this done. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yes. So if I zoom in, I can see the comments better, but the visual stays the same. So that's actually very helpful. If you want, Michelle, if you're at home, we can definitely be on Discord and clean together. I know just like having someone around you or with you helps motivate you and stuff. So I'm all for getting on like Discord and working like cleaning together, even if we're just talking while we clean or like listening to music and stuff. But just knowing like someone else is doing it with you, I know helps me get through it. Like last night, you guys heard my friend came in, and after the live and stuff, we ate, and then I got to working on fixing the Addy and cranking these out. And we're watching anime and just like working together and stuff, and just being around someone else helps. Obviously, I can't be there physically, but with Discord, at least I'll be there in technological terms, right? Whatever the word is. But yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, no, my room has been a disaster for well over 6 months now, and I'm tired of it looking that way. And I know I need to declutter and get rid of a lot of things and consolidate some other items. Like I have yarn and things like that I don't particularly use or I don't like. I need to pull that now, especially since I'm trying to crochet more in bulk. It'll help with me using it for scrap yarn. So I need to definitely pull that out. And then like my Halloween things, like my Halloween scrunchies and onesies or like fall onesies that I have left, I want to pull those as well. I still have some like cutest pumpkin in the patch ones. I will keep those for the markets, but any of the like all the ghouls love me and like other ones like that, I probably will put away because they are very like Halloween focused. Like the spooky babe, that's getting put away. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on that. But honestly, so I've decided that like, I'm gonna do section by section of the room. Like I literally stripped the bed this morning. As soon as I got up out of bed, I started stripping it. That's currently getting washed. You may be able to hear it. I don't know if the camera is picking it up or not, but I will be working on like that side and then outwards, like from the bed, like from my bed to like the craft area, and just little sections. So I don't get overwhelmed. But yeah, little by little. Oh no, Michelle. That's all you needed, right? Another cold. It's like anything and everything that can go wrong will go wrong. I feel it. Yeah, Nye. Honestly, I'm the same exact way. I was telling Michelle, and one, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I was telling Michelle like I shouldn't be allowed in society, like public society right now. Um, I'm just the smallest thing flusters me, and I get so overwhelmed. Um, I just went to deliver some transfers that I printed last night, and on my way out, right? Like I texted a client. I was literally using the restroom, and I texted a client, like, "Hey, I'm on my way now." Um, Whatever's not. So as I'm leaving my bedroom, like I lock the doors to head out, assuming that my keys are downstairs, and I've never done that, but I was like, oh no, they're downstairs. Let me just run out. They were not downstairs. They were upstairs. So I had to break into my own bedroom to get my car keys. Thankfully, YouTube came to the rescue. Locks are trash. You need a deadbolt on everything. I literally just used a credit card to get into the room. I mean, I'm glad, but not particularly secure. Um, I get there, the client is still there. It's literally been like 2-3 minutes, but I'm like freaking out, of course, because it's the end of the world. And I get there, I'm reversing the car to park. There's a guy that sees me parking and still walks to his car door. I didn't see him at first until like a little after. So I put, step on the brakes to let him get into the car. And then I'm parked. I go to change from parked or from a reverse to park. And my Hyundai Sonata has buttons as a gear shift. Instead of pressing the park button, just I guess on autopilot, I pressed the drive. I don't know, y'all, but I pressed drive. Thankfully, no one was in front of me. I was already in the parking space, so it was okay. But I let my foot off the brake till like I thought I parked the car. The car jolts forward, and I'm like freaking out. Reverse the car again to put it back into place. I politely put it in park. Then I go meet my client. But yeah, I'm a mess, y'all. And this is just this morning. Like this was just a few minutes ago. So it's a mess. Nairo, I was able to fix the Addy machine. So I showed it earlier in a clip, like at the beginning of the live, and I did make a clip of it last night when I was fixing it. So I'll probably do like a stitch with last night's live and do like add that part in. But it is working again. So in my rush to eat, because I was starving, I had not eaten anything all day. In my rush to get food in, I forgot when I placed the gold piece in, like the larger piece that the black piece went on top of. I needed to add oil on the underside where the teeth were, so that when it's spinning, it spins smoothly and effortlessly, I guess. But she is working again. I was able to get the other tubes that I needed done. I made, I think, 5 or 6 of the headbands that I needed to do, and then one extra for another order that came in. So I'll do that at a later date or later tonight, excuse me. But I more or less have my day figured out. Once I'm set to meet the client at 2, so I'm just trying to very quickly get this done. I'm gonna let her know that I'll message her when I'm headed there, so she's not like just standing in the lobby waiting for me at 2. But once I get this done, I'm gonna head out to meet up with her, and then I'm gonna bring my laptop and my iPad with me so I can work in a cafe, just so that, like, one, I'm not in the house, but I've noticed that, like, when I'm in a more like work friendly environment or around others, I seem to be a little bit more productive. It's ironic because I ignore everyone, but just knowing that, like, I'm outside or like I'm in a comfy space, work gets done. Why or how, not quite sure. Just that's just how it is. So yeah. Um I'm gonna look up markets. I don't have any markets this month, and November and December are my most profitable months. I cannot afford to not have any more markets this month. Ideally, I was trying to do every other weekend, but if possible, um I will try to get any day available, like any market day available. So definitely Saturday and Sunday, and then I'll see if there's even like some Friday ones, like Friday night ones that I could do. There were a few this past Friday for like First Friday, but of course I was out of the country, so that wasn't an option for me. But yeah, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other, like, there's always like holiday fest. There's definitely a tree lighting I wanted to do, and that was the one I was most concerned about. Like, I had to go to that, so I'm going to go ahead and apply to that as well. That's the main one, and that's in 2 weeks from now, so I have time for that. And then I have today and tomorrow off, so I will be focusing once I get a lot of business things done while I'm out. I will then come home and then just focus on cleaning for the rest of the evening. My room will be in order tonight. It will be in order. I'm going to declutter a lot of things. Since we were just out of the country, we are going to be sending a box to the people who hosted us. It's a thing. If you know, you know. But we're going to be sending something to the people who hosted us. So a lot of like old clothes, it's going to probably go in there. Things that don't fit me. Things that are just taking up space in the house. I have like not curtain sets. Well, probably curtain sets, but I have like old bed sheets and things like that I keep saying, oh yeah, I can turn them into this or do that with them. I'm tossing. I know I should probably be donating, but I'm going to be tossing a lot of things just because I can't have them just sitting in the house anymore. I'm over it. So I'm going to be decluttering. There's a lot of craft things, things you get that like, oh yeah, I can do this and do that with. I haven't done anything with. I'm probably not going to get rid of it, but I will put it in tote bags to then place up into the attic for storage. I do have other sheet sets and things like that as well that I need to organize. My linen closet is a joke right now. Most of my linen are on a pile at the ottoman of my bed, which that's not where they belong. So I'm going to sort through all that and put that there as well. I'm going to get rid of some of like the older ones that I don't like. Hold on. Let me see. I saw a nice comment. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, you need to move stuff. Yeah, I need to move and organize. Yeah, no, when I get like spurts of energy to clean, I have to take advantage. Last Friday, ironically, I had a really big like cleaning spurt. Like, I woke up and I was like, I'm going to work today and we're doing like deep cleaning at work. And I was like, we literally deep cleaned a walk-in freezer outside, like with the power washer and everything. And I'm like, I've done more deep cleaning at work than I've done at home. Like, that to me is ridiculous. So we're gonna clean the house. So I cleaned my bathroom and like I cleaned my bathroom last Friday. Like deep cleaned my bathroom. So now I want to get to the rest of the room. And I know I have to make the time for it. Oh yeah, no, I put my like the headphones that I got when I was knitting. I put that on and the world doesn't exist. It's a magical thing. It's funny because sometimes like I've gone to Starbucks before just to like sit and crochet, and people come up to me and try talking to me, and I just like count louder sometimes. I'm that person. Like if I'm in the middle of like a intricate pattern and I'm counting and you come up to talk to me, I'm just like, do you not see me counting? Obviously, once I'm done with like the particular pattern, I'll be like, oh yes, blah blah blah, or I'm making this and whatever. And then they'll ask me about my business, and then like I'll share my Instagram and stuff with them. So I know it's nice, but sometimes it's like, go away. I might do like a coffee shop or something. I don't know if the Starbucks has like decent sitting. I don't think it does, which is frustrating. Not the one downtown, at least. So there's a few bookstores and stuff that I know of. So I'll see how that goes. And then what else? I think that's about it. Cleaning is honestly going to take up most of my day. I'm not going to go to air hockey tonight. I want to focus on what needs to get done. I don't have time to play. And I feel like all this like pent up energy and anxiety that I have, the best way to like exhaust it is going to be to just clean. So that's where we're at. All right, I'm closing up the last one now, and then it's just going to be a quick, a quick, like just threading the seam. I feel like it's like eerily quiet. Sorry, y'all. But I'm focused. Let me message the client now. Oh wow, apparently you can use your iPhone as a webcam. So I just sent the message out and I got a notice on my iPhone or on my Mac that says use iPhone as a webcam. Continually camera lets you what? Oh, community camera lets your iPhone be a webcam for your Mac when both devices are near each other. That's so cool. Apparently I didn't need to buy a webcam. But I'd gotten this webcam for my old Mac because that didn't read anything. So I'm using it for this now. And I'll see if there's any like settings that I can use to fix whatever color situation is happening now, because I look very pale. Once I get back home, I might, or some other time, not, it's not going to be a task for today, but at some point I'll see if there's like a color corrector that you can do to the webcams or something. But that'll be a task for another day. But I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Michelle. I know like you've been going through a lot health wise, so I can't imagine how you must feel. I'm really sorry you're not feeling well. I'm live on YouTube. I wanted to see what it looked like. So, pretty good for the most part. I'm sure there's a way to like connect StreamYard to this as well. I just didn't have the mental capacity to do so. I was trying to do everything quickly. Okay. All right, we're done with this. Hey, Sandra. Ooh, that didn't sound good. I'm confused. You have to take the kid to do the try? I'm not sure what that means, Michelle. I'm very confused. I definitely feel you on the going to bed part. But to be fair, I just woke up, so definitely can't do that right now. We can all definitely be a little bit better, Sandra. How are you though, love? Hopefully you're doing better than we are. There's a weird edit button. I want to see what this does. Oh yeah, no, that's nothing. Okay. Not me pressing random things. Sorry, I got a call. Okay, so when it comes to like selling stuff, right? Like, who's your ideal shopper, basically, right? Like, who's going to be buying your things? Who is going to be using your things, right? And kind of like work from there. If you have a current list of things and you don't have an ideal shopper yet, think of someone that can use all the things you would like to make or can make, right? And then have you actually made any of the things you want to sell? Once you start making something in large quantities, you may not want to keep making it, in all like frankness. You know what I mean? I love crocheting, and when I started my business, I got super frustrated with how long it took to make certain things because I knew people wouldn't pay certain prices for things like that. So I found a way to make it easier for me with the knitting machine. So most of my items aren't actually crocheted, they're knitted, and my passion is crocheting. Yes, I have added a few crochet items here and there over the times, but I did not care to crochet things really for the business for a while because of the length of time it would take me to do it and my inability to do it in large quantities. And then I feel like that would help narrow down like your products and services. Excuse me. That would help narrow down your products and services. And then, in regards to selling on Etsy, that's completely understandable. Etsy has its faults, like its pros and its cons. Where do you see yourself selling, right? Like, where would you like to sell then? Do you see yourself selling in person? Do you want to do like markets if that's a possibility for you? Do you want to do maybe wholesale, right? You can go straight to like Flair or wholesale place and sell directly to other retailers. You can try to do like there's other forms of wholesale besides Flair, but you can try doing wholesale, reaching out to maybe like local stores nearby and asking them if they'd be interested in reselling your products. Once you get like, you can do like a few I wouldn't say prototypes, but like examples to kind of share and show them type thing. You could do obviously like Shopify or like e-commerce, right? Just sell it directly from yours, like sell it directly yourself. Excuse me. That honestly is the hardest way to do it. I yet have my own official like full-fledged non-Etsy correlated website. My website now is through Pattern on Etsy, right? I've had a business for 3 years and I yet to still have like direct shopping traffic to my website. In the 3 years that I've had my business, I think from my website directly, like not Etsy related, the most like cumulatively I've had from like directly on my like Pattern website, maybe $400 in the 3 years that I've been in business. And I've had my personal Pattern website for maybe 2 years now. It is extremely hard to get traffic. You are like, no one's going to go to your site unless you take them there. So it's like, how are you going to get them to find your website? You have to do like Google ads and social media and all the annoying things that come with e-commerce, right? That's a very big part of it. That's a big reason why so many people, even though Etsy is as annoying as it is, tend to go that route. Another like not easy, but friendly handmade retailer that you could probably go through is Amazon. People have a lot of feelings about that as well, but there's Amazon Handmade. From my understanding, their like $40 monthly fee can be waived if you are a handmade business when it comes to like their e-commerce platform. I have yet to open that up. I've been looking into it, but I haven't given it the time it deserves. I have a TikTok shop because, that was the craze. Everyone was going viral and people were buying things from them. I don't have a big TikTok presence, so my shop has gotten like zero. I've gotten zero purchases since I've opened my TikTok shop. Granted, I can probably do better at it, but that's not where we at right now. So there's many ways you can sell your products. It doesn't have to be online. I mean, before the internet, people sold things they made. Like, not even trying to be funny, but so many of us honestly do focus on, oh, I need to get my website up and blah, blah, blah. You do, but that's not the end all be all. Like I said, you can do wholesale to other companies. You can do business to business items, right? Like, my second business, Bella Meets Vinyl, is a business to business. I do services for other businesses. Like, I make vinyl decals and shirts and merch and all that other good stuff, right? So I service other businesses. I have to go out, meet, network, all these people, things like that. I'm honestly contemplating joining not me dropping my, hold on, I'm sorry. I don't know where it fell. Oh, here it is. You go to networking events, where you can meet other like small local businesses. There's a shop local Raleigh here, and it's literally small businesses, like mom and pop shops that come together for a networking event. And I used to go there when I was like as a banker, to meet local small businesses. But I haven't gone recently for myself as my business, but that would be a great way to meet people, a random Monday, Tuesday, random weekday morning, go get some free coffee, talk to some people like, hey, I'm a small business that does X, Y, and Z. I'm looking for X, Y, and Z. I'm able to make X, Y, and Z, right? And that's honestly how you get to know people. People sleep on that nowadays because everything is so e-commerce heavy. The best way to get a feel for someone is to meet them in person and talk to them. And then for me, as someone who is introverted, I'm an extroverted introvert. I only really am able to open up to people once I get to know them. So it's hard for me to like be friendly and smile and whatever. But it's like, if I force myself to do that for work, why can't I push myself? Because I force myself for work, but why can't I push myself for my business when it's going to help me in the long run? I went to the last event I went to for my business. I've gone to maybe 2 or 3, and they were okay. They were hit or miss, or I got to learn, some things, and it depends on the event, but some are great in regards to networking. Some people kind of finally like open up, and after a drink or a glass of wine, they'll start walking around the room and kind of talking to you. Sometimes there's just really good speakers you want to listen to, but you just get to meet people that way, right? And I've met a lot of people at markets. I actually need to reach out to one of the girls I met at my last market that I recorded to talk to her about DTFs, right? I know a lot of the girls in Discord also do DTFs, so I can easily talk to you guys as well about some transfers. But knowing the way I work with everything being last minute, honestly would be easier for someone who's local, so that we can literally kind of like drive up and meet each other to like, I'll go pick them up, you know what I mean? Or like local drop off pickup type things, and having to wait for something to get shipped out. Because while yes, you can do like overnight shipping, that's extra money, right? Little things like that. But yeah, no, like even the client that I have now that I want to go take the transfers to, I met her through one of the associates that was at the borough with me. He's a great person for referrals. He's always like hyping me up and stuff. And I actually met someone, again, at that same market. She was going around and talking to all the vendors when it was like really slow. Because, like markets are either super busy or super slow. So at one point she was going around and just kind of saying hi to everyone. And she mentioned that she does sip and paints in her studio. And I was like, oh, wow, that's so great. I've honestly even been thinking about possibly teaching some classes myself, right? As you guys know, one of the same vendor I'm talking about now from the borough does rug tufting classes. After the borough shut down, he was looking for a venue to do his rug tufting classes. I think he has found one. I don't know like what courses and things like that, but I told her, I was like, would you be open to that idea of others hosting classes in your studio as well? Like, would that be something we could potentially collaborate with, right? You know, depending on how her schedule looks like, you know, if there's a date or something where she just doesn't have that many attendees, or she's just not able to work, or whatever the case is, right? Like, or even different times within the same day, you know, would you be willing to allow classes, right? Like, I thought of maybe doing, I know I completely went left field with this, but I thought of doing like cricket classes, or, you know, chunky blanket classes. Like, now would be the perfect time to have like chunky blanket classes, right? Like either knit or crochet, like the finger knitting, right? Um, Teaching people how to do that. That might be like a 2 or 3 hour class. And, you know, before they arrive to the class, I could ask them, okay, well, what color yarn would you like? Obviously, I'd have to buy all the yarn ahead of time, but like the yarn fees could be a part of it. The class fee, like it could all be a thing. So I don't know. Like I've been thinking about stuff like that. That's been in the back of my mind for the longest. But there's different ways, right? Like, you're not stuck to like Etsy. Most people tend to go that route because, again, it is an international market, and again, they do a lot of that hard e-commerce work for you. But as a business, you do not have to work e-commerce. My aunt's fiance has a laser that he does his like I don't know why both of these ends are short. I'm just gonna use the spare pieces of one of the ones I just cut to kind of just sew the rest of this. But he has a laser engraver, and his clients are all local businesses, right? The good thing about being in a small town, or like a smaller town, is that you have a lot of smaller other local businesses around you, right? So again, like I just said myself with DTF, personally, I would prefer someone locally because I know I wait till last minute sometimes, and I'd rather be able to drive to pick something up than to wait for it to come in the mail, just because that's how my anxiety works. But he works with local realtors to do like holiday gifts for their clients, you know, like maybe like a beer opener with their information on it, right? Like realtor blah name, or like Instagram, whatever, even like QR code, right? Like little things like that. All his business is local, all of it. He has gyms that he does tumblers for. Now he recently invested in a white toner printer. He does shirts as well, right? So he has his e-commerce, but most of his business is local word of mouth. Like, the old way still works, y'all. It takes a little bit more work, but once you get those relationships built, that's it. Like, even the client I went to go see today, you know, we built rapport, and obviously she can get transfers from anywhere. I'm sure they're cheaper on Etsy sometimes or whatever. It's not like I charge $5 for my gang sheets, but you know, she's just built the rapport, and again, she knows if ever she needs a transfer, we can meet at the sheets 5 minutes away from both of our houses and be able to get stuff done, you know. Things like that. um, you're not stuck with Etsy. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's all personal preference and the amount of time and dedication you have to put into it, right? Like, all these things take time, they take money, but at the end of the day, it's also a business, right? So you got to work for what you want. I'm so behind. I was ranting. I'm sorry. Yes, Michelle. So let me actually show you really quickly. In my rush to, not Michelle, Sandra, sorry. In my rush to eat food last night, I forgot to spray down the gold piece in the middle. On the teeth, like on the bottom part, the teeth needed to be lubricated. So I did take it apart and fix that. Let me show you how well it's working. All these tubes that I just closed up and I'm stitching up now were made last night. She's working magically. It's not catching on those teeth anymore. It may like lag a little bit, but it's not catching on there anymore. Sandra. It is hard. If I would have made all of these by hand last night, I've timed myself. I don't know how long it takes now with the Adler, because I think the Adler might actually be slower than the drill attachment. But it still helps with my hand, because even with the drill, you're still holding it, right? I haven't timed how long it takes to stitch one up. But with the hand attachment, it would take me 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to use the drill. Then another 5 to 10 to crochet, and then 5 to stitch up. So let's say 15, 15, 10, that's 45. 45 minutes to do one of these. This crocheted will take me 2 hours probably. With this size yarn. It depends on the intricacy of the stitches and stuff like that as well. But with this weight of yarn, it will take me about 2 hours. And then the good thing is that also with it being knit, it's also double layered. I wouldn't be able to do a double layered crochet headband because it would be way too thick. And crochet is very three-dimensional. It's not flat and stretchy like knitting is. So it'd be very bulky if it were to be two layered. And even then, sometimes the single layer is still bulky, which is what I didn't like about it. It was bulky and it wasn't flexible. It wasn't malleable. What I usually make for a family. Yeah, and that's amazing, because a lot of people don't know the worth that goes into stuff like that, or they do and they do not appreciate it, right? But they appreciate it because they know you, right? And that kind of goes back to, again, like that rapport that I mentioned. The corner of what? Depending on where you live, like if you just want to set up somewhere outside, that's technically not legal. I'm all for trunk selling myself, but you have to be very careful with that. Sometimes cops can be very particular about stuff like that. I would suggest, if you know anyone that maybe owns a business or a space, even like if there's a local shop that you go to or a local pub or anything like that, ask the owner, like, hey, I come here often. I was wondering, would you be okay if, even like a local bookstore or coffee shop, right? Would you be okay if I just set up here on this corner table and sold tonight or something like that, right? I'll give you like, I don't know, like I'll buy dinner here or whatever's not, or like, what would you charge me? Things like, things like that, right? Like, but I mean, if it's somewhere you go locally, or like if it's a pub or something like that, like even if they don't know your name, they'll recognize your face. Like, oh, she's here all the time. She buys from me, like maybe you post something on social media and you get people to come in, like I'm bringing you traffic, yada, yada, right? Yeah. Yeah. In my HOA, like where I live, we're not allowed to have yard sales. The HOA sets up 2 yard sales annually. So you have a spring and a summer yard sale, or a spring and a fall. That's it. I'm not allowed to have a yard sale. Now, if you're able to do so, like if you're not on an HOA or you don't have like strict rules, by all means, like you can literally sell on your yard, like if that's one of the reasons why I didn't particularly care to have an HOA, because I was like, I don't have any long enough scraps. I'm just gonna pull from this. And I feel like any color would be way too visible, honestly. But yeah, no, ideally I wanted something that didn't have an HOA because I didn't want to be limited on my own property. Whereas here, while I am limited, I do have a lot more amenities that I wouldn't have elsewhere. So I exchange one for the other, right? But there's some people who have yard sales who sell things from their house, like on a daily or weekly basis type thing, So it's just a matter of like figuring out what you can and can't do. My gang sheets are 13 by 19. So this one client in particular, she does like paint and sip canvases. And like my friend who does the rug tufting, when he's doing a class, he asks the clients to send them the picture of the image they want to tuft, because before the class starts, he then has to trace the image onto the canvas, right? So what he ends up doing is he has this massive projector and then he kind of traces out the image on there, but that's time consuming, right? So imagine if you're having a paint and sip class of 10, 20, 30 people. And I think she might even just sell kits in general, like paint and sip kits, or just like painting kits, right? So she has her own images that she draws, and she'll then draw it out onto the canvas, and then it's a kit. So you get the blank-ish canvas with the image that you selected to purchase, right, to paint, and then you get the little paints, like the small paints with it, and a brush and all that good stuff. So she sells like painting kits, right, like pre-made or pre-portioned. You know what I'm trying to say, y'all. I can't the words, y'all, the words. But she realized, why should I why should I spend time drawing on all these things when I can work smarter, not harder? Well, canvas is not polyester, and the sublimation image will not last on there. It's like cotton. You can sublimate on cotton. It's not going to stay there after you wash it. But the first time after you sublimate, it's going to look amazing. It's going to look great. It's going to look grand. It's only until you wash it that the sublimation substrate will come off of the cotton. So what she does is on her canvases, she uses the sublimation transfers to stencil her outline. The outline of her images, she sublimates onto the canvases. They're going to get painted over. It doesn't matter. You know, if it gets wet, it can come off. That's fine, because you're painting over it. It doesn't have to be there permanently. It just needs to be there for you to see long enough for you to draw or paint out the image, which I think is freaking ingenious, right? So she does 9 by 12 size canvases. So I cut out I print out the image to fit within that space. And then he presses them onto the canvases. So, you know, instead of spending hours tracing out every single canvas per order, when she gets an order, she pulls a transfer, she presses it, and she boxes it up to go with her I'm assuming she buys like the paint in bulk and then just does a little pre-pours into little paint things. You know, when you were a kid, you used to get those like paint by colors. It would have the little like painting things. She does the same thing. So, and she's doing well. You know, when she first started, she got like 1 or 2 for me. Now she's buying them by the 20, you know, by the dozens, things like that. So obviously, because she like the larger quantity she buys, the cheaper I charge her. So I normally start at $5, and then depending on the order, I'll start deducing like 25 cents here and there per sheet. But yeah, I think it's ingenious, you know, like work smarter, not harder. And that's also why like I'm trying to find like a service or DIY type thing kit, because so many people now, especially like post-COVID, they realize not that many people really have hobbies. You know, there's just the few of us that are crafters that really have hobbies or have always been hobbyists. Whereas, you know, many people don't really have or made time for themselves, and now they're trying to, but they don't know where to start. So they're starting with these little DIY kits. People are self-teaching themselves with YouTube and things like that. So if you can have something easy or facilitate that process for them, why not? There's a girl, I think it's Cherry Blossom Corner or something corner. Something with a cherry and something corner. I started watching her recently. I haven't seen any of her like most recent videos, but a few months back when I was watching her heavy, she was saying, you know, all these, because she does the like tufted coasters, like the small tufting, not with a tufting gun, but like the hand tufting. So many people were asking her like, oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? You know, what needle do you use? What fabric do you use? Blah, blah, blah. So obviously she had to learn her trial and error for her business. So once she got her like set of like yarn with needle and fabric, she made her own DIY tufting kits. So, and you know, she sold some, and if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen any of her videos recently, but I know that she did finally get this stuff situated, you know, figuring out she was able to, I guess, unravel 1 or 2 different patterns and then know how much yarn she needed, like grams per color, wear everything out, set everything up, and then I could only assume she'd put extra for like error or mistake. And she sold a good amount of kits. I think she sold out on the first sets that she created. So that's really popular right now. Finding a way to get stuff like that, that's where the money's at right now, like these DIY kits and things like that. Or like services, right? Because it's like, why give a man a fish when you can teach him how to fish, right? Or something like that. What's the phrase? Y'all know what I'm trying to say, y'all. I'm slow. Let's see. Oh no, Michelle, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Honestly, Sandra, if they're not willing to pay what they're worth, they're not willing to own one. And I know that sounds bad, but I felt the same way too at first. But your time, first of all, the cost of chunky yarn is ridiculous. One skein is anywhere between $5 to $20, depending on the quality of it. And the amount of time, first of all, the amount of skeins you use and the amount of time it takes, it's well worth it. You know what I mean? Obviously, the more you do it, the faster you get and whatever. But they cost what they cost. You know, it's not like, I'm sure whatever price you have was not astronomical. And I'm sure others have paid more for the same, if not worse quality, right? And I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. Um, I always, when it comes to pricing, I always think of, there's like a meme, or um it's like one of those like AI generated like voices that like reads off things, but it goes something like, a bottle of water, like a single bottle of water at the supermarket is like $1, right? That same bottle of water at a concession stand is $2. On an airplane, or what is it? Like on an airplane it's $5, and somewhere else it's like $10. It's the same exact bottle of water, same brand, same everything. What changes like the price of the bottle of water is the environment and the not necessarily the necessity, but like, what's it called? Something to do with about appreciation and whatever is not, like, go where you're appreciated, right? Like the value of your work is what it is. So like for me, that was horrible. I'm gonna try and find it and I'll put it on Discord, Sandra. But I have an example for that as well. When I first started attending markets, my very first market was free, and it was the first time that a brewery had a market. So not many clients went. Most of my purchases were friends and family, thankfully. But, you know, after that, I got an itch for markets and I started going to the flea market. What happens? The flea market, people are going for deals. They're bargain hunting. They're looking for cheap treasure, right? I was not making a lot of sales because people were not willing to pay. Oh, I can get a hat at Walmart for $5. I can do this. I can do that. Absolutely. You most definitely can. My things are handmade and the price is the price. I will not haggle with you. If maybe, you know, like if you're buying multiple things, I may give you a discount, little things like that. But my price is my price, right? I might include something in with your purchase just out of appreciation. But the price is the price. So I wasn't really getting the sales that I needed there. But once I found the maker markets I started attending, people who attend the markets, if advertised properly, they know that everything that they will find at this market is handmade. They appreciate the fact that it's local and handmade. So they pay the local and handmade prices. When you go to a farmer's market, you're not going there because, you know, it's groceries. Yes, it's groceries, but you're going there because it's locally produced, it's locally made, it's fresh. You know, depending on the market, depending on the vendor, they might not have GMOs or, you know, pesticides written use, whatever it's not. You're paying for that extra quality. You know, if you want a deal on tomatoes, you're not going to go to a farmer's market. You're going to go to Food Lion, right? Little things like that. So you need to go where the right clientele is. And while, yes, you know, we do want to make sales, But if you're making a sale and not making a profit, you're literally wasting your time and money. Because when I first started, like especially with my native blankets, because again, they're expensive. I've come out in the negative on blankets before. Negative. And that's never fun. That's like gut wrenching. Knowing that I spent all this time and materials and didn't make $1. Like I actually lost $50. I've cried. So it's hard. It's hard. Oh, probably. That'd be cool though. She could. Yeah. So, Michelle, with the paint by numbers thing, she actually sent me the image with the paint by numbers, and I thought that was ingenious. But she was telling me, I was like, I can put it on the transfer itself. But she was like, she has like card stocks that she has with the same numbers and things like that. So I guess if she ever decides to maybe change the number or make it more intricate, it's not going to affect the canvas. But yeah, no, she does paint by numbers as well. Exactly, Michelle. And not only that, they're paying their workers an ridiculously amount, like low wage. Then the quality of the products are not that great either. Most companies that do things like that are using the cheapest quality to get the most profit margins. It's sad. Yeah. And it's the same, like a regular bottle of like Aquafina is at the convention center is $4. On a plane was $4. And I'm sure, like, I want to say I went to like the amphitheater. To the last concert I went to was to go see Pitbull, and they didn't even have bottled water. They had canned water, liquid death, and I think it was like $5. Disgusting. It tastes like pure metal. Oh no, not Daisy scared you. You should start making them. Um, Especially now around the holidays, people like to gift them. For my throw blankets, I sell the 50 by 60s for $60. And that's only because I've been able to get the yarn in bulk and it's cheaper. And I've had clients, like I literally have people who come to the table and just touch it. And then I've had clients buy 2 or 3, right? And I let them know I offer king size and I do other colors. I go all the way up to king and I offer other colors as well. But because I would have to get the specific color you want, not in a wholesale price, it's going to be more expensive for the cost of yarn. The most I think I've made on a blanket was around $400. Or I've sold, because not me. The most I've sold a blanket for was $400. And it was a king size. And honestly, I feel like I underpriced that. Because it was special yarn and all this, that, and the third. It most likely should have been 500. But again, I didn't want to overpay. I don't want to overcharge. So here we are, right? All right, so we're done with all of these now. I'm going to look at the numbers again to make sure that I have the numbers correct. So I need four black. So I have 2 here and then 2 that were previously made. Woo! Avalanche of fabric. So I have 4 and 4. Gray, I have 4 here. I have 4 green. I have 3 blue, and then 4 navy, 3 mustard, 4 blush, and 4 red. So that pile is done. I need to work on the black, gray, green, and blue. I got my tags in while I was away. So I'm going to go ahead and apply these now. I use these little like push pins. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply that now. What I normally do, especially because I have long nails, so there's a male and a female part. If I'm not mistaken, this is the male part and this is the female part. I place the tag over the male part, insert the male part into the placement that I want. And I do this because the tip of the male part is visible. I then fold over and then apply the female part. Okay? And I place it the same, like I try to place it in more or less the same exact placement on all of them. Obviously, that's not always the case, but generally they're more or less in the same spot. And the wording and writing is in the same direction as well. Okay, like that. So I'm adding this over to the done pile. I have these 2 extras. This black one is actually for another order that came in while I was away. So I'll work on that upon my return home. And then, here we go. So I'm going to pull some of these out. Okay. I may not be back. I may not still be here. I'm literally putting these tags in, and then I'm out. I'm gonna package these up. I'm gonna put it in a bag, and I'm gonna run out. But I'll probably be on Discord later, guys, when I return home. Things are falling. Hey, Sarah. Yes, I get mine from, what's her name? From Tammy, Idaho Tailor Made. She's amazing. It's always great quality. She's the only person I've ever gotten them from. Idaho Tailor Made. I always gone through Etsy to get them from her. I'm honestly not sure if she has a website. I'd prefer to go straight through her website if she did, just because I know with the Etsy fees it's ridiculous. She is on Instagram and stuff like that as well, and I get my tags with her. They're laser cut. So the rivulets I buy myself off Amazon. I get the black ones. They're a pack, I think, of 100 for like maybe $7 or $8, and I get that there. But I get the tags basically without the rivulet. She does sell rivulets too, but you can probably get them cheaper on Amazon. And the more you buy, the cheaper it is. So I always just do the 100 quantity one. Sometimes it's not available, or I'll ask her if she has an even like, I'll message her and see like if I can get a discount for a larger quantity type thing. But I love them. They're quick. And then if you need them sooner, like depending on what I think you said your market is December 2nd. Depending on what her turnaround time is, you may be cutting it close. It's only $20 for a rush fee. But I know you said you have over like almost $100, over almost 100 items. So I would honestly, I'd probably just do the $100 one. It's 100 for 100, so it's like basically $1 a tag. But they're amazing, guys. I literally just finished. I know that was super quick. I don't want to be any longer or later. You know, her and I did, excuse me, agreed to meet at 2. I'd let her know around 1:45 that I was just basically finishing up, so I don't want to get there later than necessary. I'm gonna go ahead and put these up in some of my craft bags that I keep for markets. I'm also gonna dig through some of my items here for some goodies. I'll probably give her like 1 or 2 XLs and then a few regulars just so she can like see them and kind of have something for herself. Maybe a scrunchie or something would be something she's interested in. I don't know if I have any coffee cozies already made, since I've been too lazy to actually clean the smaller Addy, excuse me. I haven't made any, so I'm going to see if I have any extras. I'll probably put that in there as well for her. Whichever color I have, honestly, so it can be like a matching set. I'm not sure if any of these are for her personally, but that'll be a cute extra gift. Guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I will be on Discord later tonight while I'm cleaning, maybe, so I can get some company and some motivation. Thank you, ladies, for coming to watch me. I did not announce I was going on live, so I do apologize for that. And I will try to announce or give you some time before I go live, right? But if it's a last minute decision or I want to just do literally a quick live, I will hop on. Hopefully you can catch it on the replay. But this is going to be goodbye for now. I'll see you guys in the next one.